And welcome, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, to round number 5 of the MEA GT Championship Series here at Watkins, Glen. I'm SSR Mayhem, and thank you for tuning in for the 5th round of the championship with only one more race to go as we look forward to Indianapolis at the championship round. Tonight, we have pretty much the same people once again here in the MEA GT Series with ESV, Barcode, Bobbers, and Breeze. I believe Breeze actually is the pole sitter. So those three ESV sweeping the top 3 spots in qualifying with RZM, Sean, and Design behind them as well. So it's going to be an interesting matchup here tonight on the racetrack. But looking forward to this one, 26 laps. This won't be a fuel mileage race by any means. It's a shorter race in the series this season. So we'll see what happens. But from what I'm hearing is tire wear could be a factor here tonight, depending on the car. So let's get today's starting lineups here set and ready to go, as we got 18 drivers looking to set the stage here tonight. So as soon as we can pull that stuff up. Alright, well, gotta find them real quick. Little buggy on the sheets here right now. Alrighty, so here we go with your starting lineups here tonight. It's going to be ESV on the front row alongside his teammate, ESV Bobberts. Both drivers looking for the first win in the championship. And this is only Breeze's second time in the series. So Breeze looking to put on a clinic here tonight. But he's got a couple of friends behind him, and Bobbers being one of them can be a factor. The guy that should have probably won last week at Le Mans in the Bugatti Cert, ESV Barcode back in action once again, starting in that 3rd spot. So Barcode looking to try to charge a little forward, while RZM Sean in the 4th position, your championship points leader and last week's runner-up behind his teammate Design, is going to look to try to extend his points lead tonight. He's a little bit of a comfortable situation, as we see Score Buffalo now showing into the picture as well. But Sean starting 4th overall. Behind Sean, it's RZM Design, last week's winner at Le Mans Bugatti Circuit. He's going to come here tonight. He's got a little bit of a special scheme he's really proud of, with the help of RZM Phoenix, I do believe. So looking forward to seeing what he can pull off, see if he can get the double win back-to-back weeks, but a challenge in front of him nonetheless. Right next to Design, it's going to be ACR Sideways. Sideways has been progressing throughout the series, so it's going to be interesting to see how he does starting closer to the front. Then it was supposed to be Vanquish FRC, but Vanquish not able to make tonight's race, so that's going to be Scored Buffalo, who we just saw fly right in here, starting in that spot behind Sideways in the 7th overall position. FCT Hard would have started behind Buffalo. However, he also will be missing tonight, so that'll put RZX JJ Reds in the mix in the top 10, as he'll start 8th overall. Behind him will be Diamond 2014, 9th starting spot, with SSR Brentward, as Brentward making up, I believe this is his 3rd appearance this season, going to start 10th overall. Then it's SMX Savitar, and we know we talked about Savitar. He's having a better end to his season. It's good to see him in form, so he will be right there in that 11th spot. Behind him, it's HYR Stokey Joe, the rookie, as he will be in the Aston Vantage, one of the, I believe, 2 Vantages out on track here tonight. So he'll start 12th overall. Then it's EXR Juice, who isn't here, so that'll put RZX Jaguar in the 13th spot. UDP Valkyrie will start on the 14th spot. She'll be in that Vantage as well. Behind them, it's going to be Ronaldo Pina, who also will be missing tonight's race. We've got a bunch of misses here tonight, so that'll put JDMX Culture behind Valkyrie. Following them, it's going to be Jasny. Jasny, who's the first ZR1, I believe, in the field, followed by SSR Quinn, and then RZX USA MVP. 19 drivers setting the stage here tonight. Stay tuned for round number 5 of the MEA GT Championship Series, as we are about to go underway here at Watkins Glen. So once again, welcome to the MEA GT Championship Series here at Watkins, Glen. Once again, I'm your host, SSR Mayhem, as we are here tonight as one of the final 2 races of the season. I see that some of the fans and other competitors tuning in for this one here tonight, always enjoying the crowd tuning in, and love seeing your guys' feedback throughout the race. It's time to get going. It's time to get racing. It's time to take another one in the books here at MEA. 19 drivers setting the stage here in the A lobby. We've had a pretty good consistent running. For the first 3 weeks, we had to double the lobbies, and then the last 2 weeks, we've dimmed down to 1 lobby overall, but still getting the good numbers, still getting some of the best drivers in the game, and one of the toughest championships to win in MEA, and probably the championship everybody wants to win when you compete in MEA. It's one of the pinnacles of this organization. So Sean looking to be a back-to-back champion, and to kind of put into perspective here, we've never had a double champion in this series, but on top of all that, to add, we've never had a back-to-back with it. So the same thing, just a little bit different. We're still waiting for RZX JJ Reds to ready up, one of the MEA officials. Not sure, and it looks like he's good to go now. 26 laps, ladies and gentlemen. I don't believe there is a Nismo out there on track, but hey, root for them as you may. Here we go, as we get them ready to load in. Remember, ladies and gentlemen, no mandatory pit stops here tonight. Drivers start as soon as they load in. Next week will be a rolling start for the championship race. But here we go, round number 5 of the MEA GT Championship Series here at Watkins Glen, about to begin, and we are green flag racing here in the MEA GT Championship Series with ESV Breeze leading us away. So 19 cars on track with Breeze open us up. And we got a car way to the outside there. It looks like a Viper, possibly, I'm not sure, but somebody got real wide off of turn number 1 at the start of this thing. Breeze, however, will lead the way, and RZM Design, where did he come from 5th back with a great start off of the launch, and Design already putting on the prowl and putting the pressure on the race leader. Oh my gosh, I seen some lag right there, and that got right into ESV Breeze, and I see a bunch of drivers off the racetrack, and unfortunate because I don't think that was touched. I think that was all glitched out. So RZM Design, your race leader, but he's not too far away from ESV Bobberts, who is looking to try to steal the show, but he's defending everybody behind him. So a great launch by RZM Design, clipping with the lag from some odd lag that had invisibly caught Breeze. And you know, you can't blame Design for keeping on going. He never touched him, especially from our angle there. So tough break for ESV Breeze, but looked like he got no damage, just a major sim twitch in the bus stop, and we saw it there when they both went to the inside. Barcode now on the prowl with Sean right behind him as they look to try to battle for 2nd, 3rd, or 4th right now. And it looks like, I don't know if we lost somebody. Nope, we're still green. So everybody's in. Everybody's here for the ride. So green till the end. Tough break once again. Let's hop back and take a look at ESV Breeze. He's fallen all the way back, probably further than where we're jumping on board with him now. He's in the 15th spot, going door to door with RZX JJ Reds to the outside of him, side by side up through the S. And you saw Quinn right there, a little bit of a lag right there as well. Forza's brought in the lag gods here tonight, so hopefully this will pan itself out and the drivers will kind of get in gear with one another and get into some sort of rhythm. When you're on the racetrack, it's kind of scary. When you start seeing cars fling around left to right, right to left, all over in front of you, you kind of be a little bit more passive. So right now, they're just trying to get their cars kind of separated, let the game and whatever connection issues is going on to kind of pan itself out. Typically, it comes from one particular competitor on the racetrack. I don't know if that's the case or it's just something going on, so hopefully it'll pan itself out once again, as I've said already. However, going back up to the race lead, ESV Bobber still leads in front of ESV Barcode. And actually, Barcode had gotten passed by RZM Sean, the points leader. So this should be a very interesting race. You got Score Buffalo in the 6th spot right now in the M6. Couldn't drive the M8, his favorite car, right there behind 5th place driver Diamond Man 2014 in the C7R. So the top 6 still within striking distance of one another, but they're starting to pull away from the pack with RSSR Brentwood leading the group behind him and HYR Stokey Joe to follow. However, Stokey Joe's got all the pressure from behind right now. Stokey Joe in the 8th spot, ACR Sideways in the 9th spot. Sideways, who started up inside the top 6, is falling back to the back of the top 10. And then you have Jasony. So a lot of things had happened because Jasony started at the tail end of the field, so something had gone crazy at the beginning of this one as Jasony gets a little bit too much corner cut there in turn 1 and got a little bit too wide. Not sure if that was self-inflicted or just overshooting with RZX Jag behind him. That's RZX USA MVP currently battling with RZX JJ Reds. ESV Breeze still working on JJ Reds. Wonder if there's still a lag issue on track for these guys that are racing right now. But JJ Reds looks to the inside of MVP. MVP will close the door going into the bus stop. However, it's RZX JJ Reds throwing the block, trying to keep ESV Breeze behind him. Breeze, who started on the pole, is now trying to fight his way back up to the front. And if you're Breeze, you're probably really frustrated, but if it was anything that we saw on our end, he's probably pretty understandable about what had happened at the beginning of this one. So Breeze just tuning in, being patient at the start. Gotten into some early troubles as JJ Reds trying to make the pass on MVP. An MVP late entry to tonight did not qualify, but to everybody that had missed the race, he was able to get himself in along with a few others. And they're actually closing the door on RZX Jaguar, and it looks like we might have lost somebody, which is obviously something we would hate to see, but that's something that might end up fixing this issue. And I think it was one of these guys that we were riding with. I'm not sure. Oh, I just missed the loop, so if somebody could tell me in the chat, otherwise I'll have to wait for that loop. But it looks like somebody bounced off the outside wall. It's RZX MVP to the outside, getting ready to get behind Jag with Breeze to follow. Breeze still working on this group behind him. And the driver that had lagged out, that was SSR Quinn, and that makes sense because Quinn was having a lot of issues getting into the race early on. Probably the difference factor, as we see Design still leading this one comfortably, getting a little bit too deep into the bus stop there. Looks like he lost his back wing. We'll hop back on to the 11th, 12th, 13th, and 14th battle behind as the Ferrari leading this group right now, the only Ferrari in the field right now. These guys are really pressing the issue early. Breeze getting to the inside of MVP, but he's going to get stuck to the outside. Not sure if he's going to be able to make the run off the edge, and will not be able to make that run. So we hop on the rear camera view of Jag and the Ferrari right now. You see Breeze to the inside of MVP, and then JJ Reds to the inside of the Jag here. And he's going to get by him no problem. Now Breeze is on the prowl behind him. Breeze is able to get by for the 13th spot. Currently riding with the mid-pack group right now. JJ and Breeze able to advance one spot so far since about the last couple of laps. Breeze letting Jag know that he's right there. And Stokey Joe gets passed by RZX JJ Reds as JJ and Jasony able to get on by him. And Breeze putting a lot of pressure right now on Jag. And there goes Breeze to the outside of Jag. They're going door to door. It looks like Breeze with all the momentum there with MVP trying to follow suit as well. Got a pretty bunch of different group of cars right here. MVP to the outside of Jag. Both of them go door to door around turn number 1 now, and Jag's gone from 11th to 14th. JJ Reds has moved back into the top 10 after a rough start to this one, putting the pressure on Jasny. It's HYR Stokey Joe behind as well, but here comes ESV Breeze with a big block by Stokey Joe to the outside, but they're still moving. They got the pace to the outside, and they're not going to get the job done. Still your race leader, RZM Design, followed by ESV Barbers. It's RZM, Sean, and Barcode 3rd and 4th. In the 5th spots, Diamond Man still leads over Scored Buffalo. SSR Brentwood and ACR Sideways still 7th and 8th. And the battle that we're on right now, 9th through basically, well, I was going to say 14th, as Jack's starting to fall off pace a little bit in the mid-pack. There goes JJ Reds now to the inside. Stokey Joe trying to fall. We're going to hop back on board with ESV Breeze in the midst of this battle now as he's trying to put the pressure on Stokey Joe. And if you're just tuning in, round number 5 of the MEA GT Championship Series here at Watkins, Glen, your pole sitter ESV Breeze with early troubles after a lag bump by RZM Design had put Breeze around in the bus stop. Breeze had fallen as far back as possibly, I believe, 16th or 17th. We hopped back on board in 15th with him about 4 or 5 laps ago. Well, I'd say 4 laps ago because that would have been the start of the race anyways, but Breeze has had a lot of difficulties passing this field of cars since then. And we had a lot of lag issues, but SSR Quinn had lagged out of the race, possibly the fix for the field. So unfortunate for Quinn, but look at that! Stokey Joe to the inside! And almost 3 wide. Breeze is going to hold off just a little bit right there. Stokey Joe to the inside of him with the RZX MVP behind him. MVP trying to make something happen there, but look at the pass right there by ESV Breeze on Jasny. Jasny and Stokey Joe get on by. Breeze looking for the move on Stokey Joe. Stokey Joe holds on to the inside, Breeze to the outside. It's a drag race. Heading into the bus stop now, Breeze to the outside of Stokey Joe. They go inside by side, they tap just a little bit. Breeze able to hang on. Stokey Joe and Breeze got too deep after the tap. Jasny to the outside and will take the position back from ESV Breeze. Breeze and Stokey Joe got really aggressive. They're going into the bus stop, but Jasny took advantage of an opportunity there as both of them overshot the bus stop. MVP, however, didn't get a great run, but was pretty much on them, and now he gets to the inside of Stokey Joe as they head up through the boot there. But Stokey Joe able to hold on to the inside. MVP not able to make anything happen there. ESV Breeze still on the prowl, and JJ Reds is gone and out. So right now, this battle is slowing down. Oh my gosh, Jasny trying to throw a block, and that was a very, I wouldn't say that was a great block at all. Jasny almost making it difficult for himself. That almost was bad, as Jasny, I'm not sure if Jasny was expecting that. I think Jasny was going to try to get out of the way and give Breeze the run. Breeze was already, planning to make the pass, but weren't able to get it done. So very fortunate right there that that wasn't worse than what it was. Great save by both drivers, however. An RZX Jaguar right there behind them in the 14th spot, trying to get back into the midst of things. But Breeze got the run to the outside of Jasny. Side by side, and Breeze is trying to pin him down low, and I'm not sure what's going on right now. Jasny's making it very difficult, getting a little bit wide off turn number 1 again. Breeze being very patient, however. I know we're sitting on ESV Breeze, but it's kind of the action pack of the track right now as the battle for 10th is on. Breeze trying to make another run here as we hop on board with them. Jasny to the inside, Breeze to the outside. Breeze might try to make a thing. Jasny getting too big of a corner cut right there. Jason's got to be careful about the way he's driving on track. He's been a little bit all over the place. Don't want to get a penalty for driving where you shouldn't be, but I can't say that we haven't seen that a few times already by him. Breeze, on the other hand, just trying to get around him. And a crossover move by ESV Breeze, who went wide going into the boot, and he gets the job done, and Breeze is going to break away from the pack. HYR Stokey Joe, though, under fire. I believe that's Jag getting to the inside of him. No, it's not. It's MVP. Jag was able to catch up to this group in front of him. But now these guys and girls are going to start relaxing and getting things going. Let's go back up to the race lead. However, we're going to hop on with ESV Bobberts for the moment. Bobberts leading the way with RZM Sean and ESV Barcode behind him. RZM Design leading every single lap so far since the little mishap early in this race. So there, right there, they're still working on him. Not a whole lot of action right here. Going a little bit further behind him in the 5th and 6th spot. A battle for 5th place right now. Scored Buffalo been pretty much behind Diamond Man for the majority of this race so far, but Scored Buffalo looking like he's on the prowl in the M6, trying to get some of that straight line speed out of it. Diamond Man, he's been representing the C7R for the last few weeks in the series, and has been able to fend off Scored Buffalo so far. We go further behind him. It's ACR Sideways in the 7th spot. And that is SSR Brentwood trying to get back to him. These two are battling, and looks like Sideways got the better of him. Then it's RZX JJ Reds, ESV Breeze, Jasony, Stokey Joe, MVP, and Jag. We were on those guys. Further behind them, it's SMX Savitar in the 15th spot by himself. UDP Valkyrie in the 16th position, all alone. It's JDMX Culture in the 17th spot, and Culture overshooting the bus stop. Seems like that's a trend. Everyone's trying to get as much as they can out of it. Then rounding out the current cars on the field, King Cameron with SSR Quinn out of this race. Now, RZM Design showed up this week with a brand new paint, as we might have lost another car. We might have. And that could... Oh, SSR Brentwood. Both the SSR drivers lagged out. Well, as a team owner, I'm going to say that stinks. Both of those were my drivers. But SSR Quinn and Brentwood now both out of this race, leaving 17 cars on the track. But let's go back to the design paint here. I know he's lost his wing. He's got a little bit of damage on the car, it looks like. But a special paint made this week for him. Mental health, awareness. Very happy with it. And I believe it was Phoenix. Oh, yep, RZM Phoenix, who has made this scheme very well and currently at the front right now. Bobberts trying to get to design last week's winner. However, Bobberts is under fire right now. And when I say last week's winner, I mean design. But it's ESV Bobberts right now in the 2nd position, fending off RZM Sean, who almost won last week, but just didn't have enough in the tank to really trust the car that would get it to the end. Sean, who's got a little bit of a cushion now after Barcode's disconnect. The first disconnect, you know, we talked to Barcode. He said, that's the first disconnect I've had in 6 months. What horrible timing for him. So you got the Lamborghini leading, the Jag in 2nd, the C7R in 3rd, 4th is the KTM, and then I believe the 5th place car should still be Diamond, and that should be a C7R as well, followed by the M6 by Scored Buffalo in the 6th spot. JJ Reds, however, has fallen back to 17th. JJ Reds has made a pit stop, ladies and gentlemen. Pit stop by RZX JJ Reds. Not sure what the stop is for. Could be damage on the car, I don't know, or it's a safe bet to get it to the end. Again, the drivers were talking that tire wear could be a factor on some of these cars, the Jag being one of them. Now, they can make it on fuel, but their concern, once again, is the tire wear. As we bring it up on screen, bottom right corner of your screen there, Bobberts at 25 in the back, right in the front left, as high as 31 and a half, so only 10 laps down, 16 to go. It doesn't look good for, well, in this case, Bobberts. And again, if you're just tuning in, this is round number 5 of the MEA GT Championship Series. We're racing here at Watkins Glen Championship round next week at Indianapolis. Your race leader, RZM Design, who won for the first time this season last week at Le Mans on the Bugatti circuit after passing RZM Sean for the win with 2 laps to go. Right now leads, but isn't out of the woods just yet. He's being followed by, well, he's Bobberts in that Jag, and then RZM Sean, the points leader, in 3rd, Barcode in 4th. And Barcode right now, he's not out of the championship mix just yet. I know last week he did lag out of the race. Again, his first lag out in 6 months based on him letting us know. But he's going to need something big here. He's going to need something to happen to Sean and obviously you don't want anything to really happen, but in order to get back in that fight, Sean's going to have a bad run today. And running fifth, running in the top 5 right now, doesn't help Barcode's chances. But look at this. Boberts is trying to get Sean out of his rear view right now. Sean putting all the pressure in the world on Boberts. And Sean, you know he's a competitor. You know he wants every bit that he can get. And if you're designed right now, you're loving this. You know that your teammate's leading the points. You're currently leading the race right now. It could be I believe the first winner to win twice this season. If I am correct, I could be wrong. Actually, I think Sean has won 2 races this season. I could be wrong about that. I have to go check the records. Sorry that I don't know that off the top of my head. Now let's go check on Breeze, ladies and gentlemen. He's moved up into the top 10. He's currently running in the 8th spot. He was your points leader. Pulling up the race map, bottom left corner of the screen, you see the number 1 dot on the track. That is the leader of the race right now. Breeze a little bit far back. A lot of racing still to go. And if you're Breeze right now, you are probably the most patient person on the planet dealing with the mid-pack drivers who really put up a good fight. Though you got to question some of the driving from Jason there, but he finally got by him and he's on the move. And so behind him is, you know, back there in 10th and all that stuff. You got Stokey Joe still in front of USA MVP. It's RZX Jag, who's currently behind them. And then I kind of missed. It's Savitar. Savitar's in the fight now as well. Further back, UDP Valkyrie. JDMX Culture not too far away, but Valkyrie's trying to close in on Jason, and Jason has been going backwards. Now, remember, ladies and gentlemen, a lot of stuff happened early in this race. Glitches and lags and all types of stuff was going on, and we saw a lot of people gain, and we saw other people go back. So we're seeing guys that have got the advantage early on, and now we're seeing people recover from earlier mishaps, you know, based on the connection on the track. So once Quinn has pretty much disconnected, it's kind of panned itself out. Unfortunately, not only did Quinn lag out, but also SSR Brentwood as well. 2 drivers that, you know, unfortunately couldn't make it to the end here tonight. So drivers trying to take advantage of early mistakes and issues, and others trying to recover from it. As we hop back to the front, Sean still putting the pressure on Boberts. Now, there's a little history here, a little bit of a rivalry. Maybe not for them, but if you're somebody that's been following MEA, who's been following these 2 guys compete inside MEA, these 2 guys were the championship contenders last season, battling for the championship. Sean just had gotten the better of Boberts all season long. Boberts right now in the fight for the championship. I do believe he's top 3 in points, but still a ways back overall from Sean. And I know Boberts would like to get some dubs on him. So you know this battle here is not going to go away. Boberts is not going to just give it up. And, you know, we bring up the damage tracker here, so to speak. 40% tires at the front left for Boberts. For Sean, it's 41. So Sean's got a little bit more tire wear on the car right now. But it looks like he's got the pace. However, not able to get by Boberts. These 2, I mean, Boberts is closing the inside. He does not want to give Sean an opportunity to take a chance. And that's big right now. I mean, you got to think these 2 are fighting not just for the race, but championship points. These are championship points right now. Boberts knows where he's at. I don't have the updated sheet on hand, so I can't tell you guys exactly where they are. I do apologize for that, but this battle is still in the current season here. This isn't just about pride. This isn't just about getting back from a season ago. This is about what can be. And these 2 racing really hard right now, not knowing what might happen. You know, these 2 could very well take each other out. Sean could have an incident. I mean, you know, and Barcode's trying to recover from last week, but RZM Design is slowly pulling away from these guys. I guess we're going to stay on this battle still because it's up front, and Sean's been putting all this pressure on him. We see, I just checked the chat. I see we got some fans in there. Got some Stokey Joe fans, some Valkyrie fans. We see Barcode in the mix. Got some Bobberts fans. Good to see everybody in chat. It's good to see you all there. Let me know if you want me to check anybody out. I'll be happy to do that for you guys. We got a great one here, though, up at the front between Sean attacking Bobberts. And it's kind of interesting to see how Barcode is kind of just, you know, pacing himself. He's kind of waiting, kind of taking his time. Not pushing anything, no issues. He already kind of, I think for Barcode, he's not going for the win here tonight. If he is, he's going to base it on the tire wear. And I guess we should go check on Design's wear because, you know, Design is out front. He's racing hard. Ooh. Design's in the orange already. Design is in the orange already on tires, ladies and gentlemen. Bobberts, I mean, we could do some updates here. Bobberts is 5% better. That means Sean's about 4% better based on their last stats. So this could be coming down to, you know, within the last 2 laps. If these guys are going to make it, they're going to have to save those tires. And right now, Bobberts and Sean aren't playing nice. They're racing hard, and they're putting everything into it right now. And Bobberts knows. I mean, a win here tonight can really affect his you know, when I say affect, I mean you help and benefit his championship hopes. You know, Bobberts really hasn't been in the mix of a championship. But, oh, Sean gets to the inside for the moment, but just couldn't get alongside him. Coming off the exit there. That was a moment. That was a moment. But Bobberts able to kind of collect himself, not let Sean get to the inside here. So right now, Sean's in an ESV sandwich. He's on the offensive end, but he knows that Barcode's behind, and that puts him on the defensive end as well. And Bobberts just trying to keep in front of these guys. And Scored Buffalo was able to get by Diamond Man. We got a battle, though, behind here. I believe that's 6th, 7th, and 8th right now. Or a possible battle. Sideways has caught up to Diamond Man 2014. Scored Buffalo has cracked the top 5 for the first time this season. Can he hang on to get a top 5 finish here today? Breeze probably trying to make it top 5 today. We'll find out what he's got. Breeze, who had an unfortunate start to this race, fell outside the top 15. Sideways, getting to the door side of Diamond. They're going to go door to door through the bus stop and not even touch. Good driving there and able to exit with no problems. Sideways, making the move on Diamond Man. And Diamond Man now, he's going to maybe try to make something happen here. Though Breeze is right there as well. And let's take a look at that KTM. We'll take a look at that KTM in a moment as we wait to see how this plays out with Breeze putting the pressure on Diamond Man here. Now, last time we saw the Lambo Sideways get by him with some ease there. I assume we should see probably the same thing with Breeze. If he doesn't get him here, I'd say we'll probably see it on the straight. Because Breeze is all over the back bumper. And then Sideways got a little bit too far to the side. Breeze almost catching the grass. So still a 3-car battle, 6th, 7th, 8th right now. Sideways currently leading the group. It looks like Breeze lost some momentum right there. So here we go down the straight. And what will Breeze do? He's not, just didn't get close enough to make it happen. So we're gonna go back up front here. We're gonna check on ESV Barcode's brakes. We're gonna check on his, Barcode's in the nice, ladies and gentlemen. I believe that was Lucky that was asking about just over 45% tire wear. I think Barcode's figured out the strategy here because Sean's 55% almost. Bobberts, on the other hand, is 53%. And your race leader, RZM Design, he's cooking at 60%. So Barcode might be the guy to beat here tonight. Let's take a look at the M6 of Score Buffalo. Buffalo's in a good spot as well, with only 52%, so possibly an opportunity for a top two if things don't work out well with Bobberts and Sean, and obviously your race leader Design. And Breeze looks like he was able to get on by Diamond Man, and Breeze is up there in the 60% margins as well. And unfortunately for Breeze, he was involved in an earlier accident, but the problem with that accident was it wasn't really done by anybody. It was a Forza glitch tap that came from behind him with RZM Design, and when they went to the bus stop, it was really weird how they went in, and then we saw kind of the glitch, and then we saw him go around. So it was a really, really tough break for Breeze. You know he would like to get that win here today, but I think a top 5 will solidify the early incident. As Breeze putting the pressure on Sideways, and Sideways dips down to the inside, and he's just going to let Breeze go by. So no fight there by Sideways, and now Breeze going to look to try to catch up to Score Buffalo as we hop on to the top 2, 3, and 4 positions. Now Barcode slowly fading in the distance, could be saving tire wear, and I think that's what Sean's doing now as well. We were watching Sean put pressure on Bobberts for the last several laps. Wasn't able to get by him. Bobberts was able to fend off Sean, and we watched him on the front stretch. He would throw his car all the way down to that pit wall and pretty much block that whole lane off. So Sean wasn't able to make a run on him, and now Sean probably realizing it's going to be a tight, a tight race to get to the end. Bobberts, on the other hand, looks like I think he's still pushing the car. I think he's just going to risk it all, and because he's got to know that his teammate's a little bit better on the tire wear. I would assume they've talked up to this point. So these guys aren't really fighting just yet. We're going to check on Valkyrie, see if Valkyrie's caught up. But you know what, actually, Culture's caught up. There's Valkyrie's statistics with tire wear right now, and Valkyrie actually lost, or no, we've lost drivers. Looks like Jason was another call, but we only got 16 on track. I think Jason had lagged out of this one as well. So they were closing in on Jason, who was in a ZR1. So that would have been the third driver out of this race. JJ Red's the only driver that we know had made a pit stop in this one, and that would be correct and confirmed. Jason has been locked out of this one. Culture trying to put pressure on Valkyrie. We're going to check on Score Buffalo. He's got, he's had his moments this season. I think it's been 3 races so far. This week having to drive the M6. The M8 was not available for the race at Watkins. He's got a fast boy behind him, though, an ESV Breeze. Now, Score Buffalo has now just gotten near the 60% marker on its left front tire. Moving up to the race leader, however, Design's closing in on the 70% left front. That left front is what I would be concerned about if I was Design. How do you check, or how do you stop that from happening to get worse? I don't know how you take care of one tire particularly. Maybe the entry, maybe how much aggression you put in the corner. I do think Design's starting to slow down a bit as Bobberts is starting to close back in on him after losing Sean, but that gap's still pretty big when you talk about comfort. And JJ Red's one of the only cars that we know that had made a pit stop. King Cameron in front of him. Actually, let's check on King Cameron since we're just kind of watching. No, so JJ Reds is the only car that made a pit stop, ladies and gentlemen. JJ Reds is actually best fit to make it to the end. However, track position-wise, not so much. I do believe Breeze is over the 60% marker as Design gets to the bumper of JJ Reds. Got a little bit close to that inner entry there. But we've seen just about everybody do that. And JJ's going to get to the outside and let Design by. We'll hop back on with Breeze for a moment. So Breeze is actually closing in on 70% left front, and his right front isn't that great either compared to Design. Design's actually a lot better at the right front compared to his left front tire. I'm going to tell you what, guys. I'm positive right now that we're going to see some pit stops here. I do think these guys, I think somebody's going to risk it. I think one of the drivers is gonna risk it. I believe a lot of people watching are probably in agreement with that, but I do think we're going to see some of these drivers say, you know what, especially if they care about their points, we're probably going to see pit stops. Now, someone like ESV Breeze has nothing to lose in this, so Breeze might try to take it to the end. I think Design's going to try to take it to the end. I think Bobert's going to try to take it to the end. Sean might make a pit stop just to make sure if his tires are closing in to maybe uncomfortable standards at this point of the race. Scored Buffalo as well, I would think would probably risk it, but Sean has a lot to lose if he loses his tires heading into the last few laps. He is the points leader. Barcode's looking really good. Boberts isn't far from it, but if you make a pit stop and Boberts' tires goes out and you're able to get by him on the last lap because his tires are so bad you can't even hold on to the car, then you might have secured your championship, because Barcode lost a ton of points last week at Le Mans on the Bugatti circuit after his disconnection, putting him pretty much in 20th of that race. And that disconnect didn't happen early on. That disconnect happened over the halfway point of the race. And Breeze now on the backside of Scored Buffalo for fifth, a fifth-place battle in the makings here at Watkins Glen. Round number 5 of the MEA GT Championship Series as we near the end of the season. RZM Design still your race leader. If you're tuning in, you're coming to the ending stages of this one here. One of the shortest races of the schedule. Breeze, who was on the pole, early accident in the bus stop after a lag punt from Design, had knocked Breeze around and unfortunately sent him outside the top 15. Breeze has been on a recovery drive ever since. Had a really tough battle in the mid-pack with Stokey Joe, Jasney, Jaguar, and a couple others. Now trying to fight for a top 5 with Scored Buffalo, who's going for his first top 5 of the season and I believe ever here at MEA. So Buffalo driving the M6. We're going to hop back to the front of the pack here in a moment. When we get to the back straight here, we'll hop up with them. We just want to see if Breeze will put any pressure here to be able to get by. Breeze has closed the gap immensely in the last 2.5 laps. And here we go. Does he have the straight line speed to get alongside him? And he's got all the speed. Will he go door to door? He can't. He didn't get enough far in front. Now he's looking, he's waiting, he's being patient. Breeze showing all the patience in the world today. As we hop back on up front here for the moment, we'll come back and take a look at them. Just check on our race leaders right now. The gap is pretty much the same. Not a lot has happened. You see JJ Red's the only car in this field, or this group on this part of the track that's not on the lead lap, but has fresher stuff. Has better tires, can make it to the end, no problems. He did make a pit stop. Check the map real quick. Looks like nobody has made a pit stop since. And then there's Breeze, still behind Scored Buffalo. A battle for 5th is on. Tire wear starting to push the 80% mark. What do you guys think? Let us know in the chat. Can these drivers make it to the end? The Lambos showing the worst tire wear of the group. The KTM by Barcode looking good. No problems. Let's check on the race leader, however. And Design's already pushed 80% front left. Front right is 76.5. The back tire's fine. But that red stuff is closing in. Bobberts behind him has finally saved some tire, it looks like, since the battle with Sean has come to a close for the last handful of laps. Still a tight fit for him. Sean has saved some tire as well, so they stop battling, and as soon as they stop battling, that situation of tire wear is dimmed down. Design is in trouble, because if his tires reach before theirs do, he might get passed, and then that'll be that for them. However, the KTM of ESV Barcode, as these guys all get by JJ Reds at the 66 marker, pushing 70%. Barcode should be good till the end. And then Breeze has finally got by Score Buffalo. And he's at 80% tires. As they get around King Cameron here, who's a lap down as well. Score Buffalo actually in better shape than some of the guys in front of him, including ESV Breeze, who just had passed him. Design started to get into the red. Only 3 laps left. Design in trouble. Design has to know that these tires are starting to give way. He has a big enough gap that I think he could get away with saving tires if he can. Three cars out of this race: Brentward, Quinn, and Jasney. And you see the cars behind starting to close the gap as Design's tire, and I say tire because that left front is feeling it now. And you can see it's feeling it. He's starting to lose pace. He's starting to lose momentum. Bobberts and the rest are closing in the gap. And Bobberts, I believe he's going to be very much happy if he can get this win here tonight. But it's not over yet. Design still has an opportunity, but that tire is going to hit 90%. I don't know how well he's going to be able to hang on to that car. I mean, he's lifting a little bit. I think he's slowing down the rotation on those things, not putting too much into it. You can hear him lifting, easing back into the throttle. But Bobberts is on the way, and he's bringing some friends. %, not even. The front rights, they're starting to feel it. Design 2 laps away to go back-to-back wins. Breeze, on the other hand, the pole sitter, has found a way to save some tires on the Lambo by about 5%. Breeze could make it to distance, ladies and gentlemen. It's going to be tight for ESV Breeze. Back to the race lead. Design has now punched the 90% tire wear marker on the left front. 2 laps remain. And the car is starting to give away his entry, his exit. Getting wider, getting slower. Bobberts is now closing the door. And he can push that car. He's not even near 90%. He's close, but not as near just yet. Sean and Barcode battling behind for third. And Barcode now putting the pressure on Sean. Sean playing defense. Doesn't want to lose too much, but he's now closing in on 90% wear as well. It's who can take care of their tires most. Who can hang on, who can outlast the others. Who did their homework, who picked the right car, who's gonna get the job done here tonight. Roberts putting as much into it as he can on design. Barcode trying to put the pressure on Sean. Sean trying to make sure that the points gap remains comfortable to the championship round as he tries to defend his title. Breeze, the pole sitter, battling his way back to the top 5, trying to hang on. Barcode now looks to the outside, but Sean shuts the door. And Bobbers takes over the race lead to the outside. He does. And actually, I think I saw that wrong. He got to the inside. Design has fallen off. New race leader with 1 to go. ESV Bobbers. Tire at 85%. Barcode is got by Sean. Sean going door to door into the corner. Barcode will take the spot away. The hunt is on. Design is off pace. Design will not be able to fend this off. He hugs the inside. Barcode and Sean go to the outside. Now can Design make it and fend off Breeze? Bobbers, the white flag in the air. 1 lap to go at Watkins Glen. And Barcode has all the tire. He will not have any problems. 4% transmission damage, but that could be a glitch. He's now got to track down Bobbers. Bobbers going for his first win on the season, trying to keep his championship hopes alive. They're getting up to the first section. Barcode is slowly closing the door. He's following Bobbers like a deer, tracking him down. Into the bus stop. Tires are pushing it. Bobbers is trying to manage them. Still about a half track of length left in this one. Barcode. Can he get to him? When everyone saw Barcode last week pretty much lose a ton of points, everyone thought this one's over. Sean's got it in the bag, but everybody forgot about Bobbers. Hasn't won a race yet this season, but that hasn't kept him out of the fight. Has finished in the top 10 every week. Has had a couple of top 5 finishes. A win here today can be huge. Barcode still closing the door. Only a few turns remain. Bobbers is now hitting the 90% marker in the front left. Barcode closing the door. 2 turns to go. Bobbers just has to hang on for 2 more laps. Tire management was the story here today. Bobbers, for the final time, around the final turn, is going to fend off Barcode and get his first win of the season at Watkins Glen. Barcode will bring home second. Third will be RZM Sean. Fourth will be, well, we have to check because Design has fallen off pace. Immensely has fallen off pace. And Breeze has fallen off pace as well. Scored Buffalo back to the 5th spot. And Design hitting the brakes hard, trying to make that turn count. Buffalo coming off the edge. Buffalo trying to get there, just can't do it. ESV Breeze is going to bring it home 6th behind Buffalo. What a race. What a battle. What a wits of management. When you thought they were going to be out at the end, Sean and Bobbers both stopped battling. MVP, who started at the tail of the field, is going to bring this home 8th. ACR sideways. One of the Lamborghinis made a pit stop, kept himself into the top 10. Again, post-race interviews coming up next here at MEA. Stay with us. And sideways, going to bring it home 9th. Savitar. Looks like he made a pit stop earlier in this race. He's going to bring this thing home 10th. A top 10 for Savitar. Big day for him. Like I said, he's come a long way this season after having the last couple of years have been really tough for him. RZX Jaguar bringing this thing home 11th. Good day for the Ferrari, for all those Ferrari fans. And JDMX Culture is going to bring his car home in 12th and had not had the pit. RZX JJ Reds. Oh, wait, JJ's going to get to the outside. JJ's going to get it done. JJ will take the 12th spot away from Culture. Wow. And Valkyrie has 100% tire wear at that left front, finishing at 14th. But a top 15 nonetheless. King Cameron limping, and he's got 25% engine damage. How did you get 25% engine damage? That's insane. There's no way. Bringing that thing home 15th with that much 25% engine damage? Wow. Behind him, Stokey Joe out of gas. Oh my gosh, Stokey Joe. The only car that ran out of gas? It's crazy. Everybody else has made it. Valkyrie made it in her Vantage. Not sure how Stokey Joe ran out of gas. But that is it. That's a wrap. That is a wrap. Again, stay tuned. Post-race interviews coming up next. So we're going to get the top 5 for post-race interviews. We got Bobberts, Barcode, Sean, Design, and Score Buffalo. Your top 5. We're going to get their thoughts on to today's race. So let's get them in here. And then we're going to have to probably double check to make sure that Design can be heard on the mic, because Design sometimes does and doesn't get it. So let's get them in here. We got to get Sean as well. And I talk about that race. I mean, that was coming down. I mean, it really came down to tire management, ladies and gentlemen. I mean, we knew the Lambos about halfway were struggling with the wear. But how about Scored Buffalo? First top 5 this season. Big day for him, driving that M6. Had a battle with Breeze there at the end. Breeze was good on tire wear, so it must have tried to put it, down for the last 2 laps. Wasn't able to hang on. And just basically, that was that for him. So we're going to get these drivers in here. So let's get everybody in here. We still need to get Sean and Design. We'll open the party up. Maybe that's what they're waiting for. I don't know, but we'll get them in here for a moment. Just give us 1 second, ladies and gentlemen. For you guys that just joined the party, make sure you check off your audio in the party settings. That way everyone can hear you on stream. Once again, if this is your first time in the top 5, I know it's Buffaloes. It's a PG talk, so keep it all PG, guys. And we got Sean and Design in here. And we're going to start with our top 5. And you know what? Real quick, Design, can you do a check for me so we can make sure that we can hear you through the audio?
Yes. Hello.
We'll just wait to see here. Yep, we can hear you through there. So we just want to make sure sometimes his audio doesn't come through for some weird reasons. All right, so again, if you guys had just joined the party here, the booth, make sure that your audio is checked off. And we're going to start with our 5th place finisher for the first time here at MEA in his career. He hasn't ran many races, but he normally drives an M8 when he can, and he drives the M6 and 8. That Scored Buffalo 31, and Buffalo, what a race for you. You had to battle a little bit there to get up to the top 5. I'm not sure if you're part of that mayhem that happened early on the first lap. I know that there was a lot of disconnects and things like that were going on, and everybody was everywhere, but you were able to battle it out. You fended off Breeze as long as you could, but what determined you to make sure that you just were in his sights, and how did you feel when you finally got by him with just those last couple of laps there?
Um, I originally thought I wasn't gonna be able to get past Breeze because I thought he had it to the end because I knew tires were gonna be an issue. But then when I heard Design was losing his front, I knew he was in a Lambo. I was thinking maybe the same will happen to Breeze because I just started a fuel save a little bit because the M6 it was pretty tight, I'll say to say the least. But once I started to see Breeze slow down, and I saw that pace in the car, I was like, maybe I could try something. And you know, Breeze's tires were just not there, and I almost caught up to Design too, but it wasn't there.
And you normally drive the M8, you're kind of bummed, but getting in that M6 and getting your first top five at MEA, how does that feel for you? I know you were here for a few times this season, had a couple really good runs, but to get your first top five, that's got to feel great.
Oh yeah, and especially with the probably not the best build to do it with, but I try to make it work, and I got a top five out of it, so I'm pretty happy.
And obviously, there's one race to go. We know that you haven't been able to do a full-time schedule here, but hopefully back in action next week and be able to compete in Indianapolis, and hopefully be able to replicate this result. But congratulations, Buffalo, on a great run, able to fight through the tough times and be able to manage your tires. So congrats.
Thank you.
Score Buffalo, ladies and gentlemen, fifth overall today here at Watkins Glen. We're going to move up with the leader for a majority of this race. RZM Design bringing on that mental health awareness scheme very proudly. And Design, I know that was a tough way to end your race, and what could have been 2 for 2 in the last 2 weeks, but still able to get a top five. Take us through the beginning of that race. From our point of view, it looked like a lag punt between you and Breeze had happened, and that's what created the contact.
Yeah, as you know, Mayhem, I'm on vacation and playing on bad Wi-Fi. So um, he's in my messages telling me that it wasn't a lag punt, but it was on my end. So um, I don't really know any other way to put it. I'm just happy I got the car here and happy that the message was able to be brought to the Twitch channel and also happy about the paint overall. I'm not great with the Lambo, so I tried to just drive it the best I could, and I had a feeling before the race even started that the tires were going to die for my build at the end of the race. I was just hoping that it could hang on as far as it could, but uh, take them as you get them, dude. I'll I'll take the top five and hopefully have some better momentum for next week.
Well, it's always tough to be on the receiving end of something that happens like that, and everyone's going to have their side of the story. Like I say, from our point of view, it looked like a lag punt 100%, and we knew that there were some lag issues in the party, or not the party, but on the track, and it looked like once SSR Quinn had lagged out, everything started to pan out for the field. So it's just one of those unfortunate circumstances. I'm sure everyone's going to look it over, but you got to keep running your race. And you talked about the wear, but it was all the Lambos that were struggling on track. I mean, it wasn't just your Lamborghini; it was everybody's Lambo. And when did you realize during the race or at the end that, oh, I'm in trouble and I need to I mean, did you start trying to save tires at any point?
No. Like I said, I think with testing, I think I said it in the chat. Breeze and I were talking about it before the race started earlier today. That I thought mine were going to hit 100% for the finish, and they did. I know he was in more of a handling build. I went with more power to try and get as far away as I could and just pray that it would be enough distance. But um, and that's the route that I took this week, and it just didn't. You got to try things to get a win, and that's exactly what I did, and it just didn't work.
And you talk about being in a different build. You actually had probably one of the best starts throughout the field at the beginning of that race. You went from fifth to second in the first lap, and then obviously the bus stop situation. But what were you able to do? I mean, was it just the type of cars that were in front that you had the advantage on the launch? I mean, give us that take and how that went.
Yeah, I don't know if Barty was using TC on the KTM or not, but I know that if he was, that thing has an awful launch, and the same with the I think any of the cars like the Porsche or the Lambo or the Audi is gonna get that huge jump off of a standstill start race, and um, just went over to the outside and it worked out.
Well, obviously, top 5 is a good way to finish, given how the end was going on there and having people pass you, just trying to hang on. But a good result. We know that your start of the season was really rough, but it's paying off here at the end. And yep, my screen just went away. It looks like everyone left the lobby. But yeah, no, congratulations on a top 5, 4th overall today. We know next week you're going to look for that second win on the season again. You almost had it tonight, but it just wasn't meant to be. But congratulations.
Thank you. And the mental health awareness donation for my campaign is linked on my Twitter if anyone's interested.
RZM Design, ladies and gentlemen, 4th overall today. Congratulations to him and what he represented this week with the mental health awareness. But we're going to move up that ladder, and again, we're going to talk to RZM Sean, 3rd overall tonight, points leader. Sean, I know you wanted Bobberts I know you wanted to get by him so bad, but you guys were battling so hard that it seemed like you guys weren't kind of paying attention to what your wear was, and it looked like there you guys finally you let up on him, and it looked like both of you started to save some tires there.
Yeah, I don't know how much it affected my toe. I didn't think it was going to, but I don't know what I should have been at the end really. But I was definitely, maybe moving about the track a bit more than I should, and wearing them out a lot.
And, obviously Bobberts is contending for a championship this season still. He's kind of been the quiet one in the group he's been there. He hasn't had the best results, so he knew he had to battle you, and you're looking to try to make sure that you could keep that points lead, comfortably going into the final round. We know you're looking to defend your title, but you really put the pressure on him. It looked like a couple of times you were able to get by him. At what point of that in the race, before you had let off, did you kind of say, you know what, I need to kind of conserve my tires a little bit here? I don't know exactly. I mean, were you hoping to get by him? Did you already know that you needed to conserve, or maybe you needed to, or how did that all play out for you mentally?
I sort of more just realised when I started understeering really bad, and I checked my tires and they weren't looking good. I wasn't sure if I was even gonna make the end at that point because I really had no clue what my wear was. But yeah, like I wasn't expecting to really race anyone, and obviously I was sort of stuck in between two extremes where I couldn't pass the Jag off the corners, and then I had Barcode harassing me the whole race on the entry.
And he definitely was putting the pressure on you, and it's always tough to be in those situations where you're on the offensive end, but you got to make sure the guy behind you stays behind you. So a lot was going on for you throughout that race, but that battle with you and Barcode at the end, give us a little bit on that, because it looked like you tried to hang on. Was the tires the difference there?
Yeah, I mean, I was hoping to hold on best I could. At that point, I'd given up on Bobberts, and I was trying to hold off Barcode, but yeah, the tire advantage was just a lot bigger than I thought it was going to be. I thought, I'm going to have to maybe sit in the middle of the track, but I don't remember when he got pied, but it was like around the outside or something like that. So.
Well, you're still the points leader heading into the championship round. Those points will be released early this week, so everybody knows what they are. But going into next week, I mean, there's still a task at hand, still a job to be done, and still a championship to be lost. And we know that you're going to do everything you can. What's your thoughts going into next week now that Bobberts had a good points night, and that's a big benefit, 10 points over second, and you got that 3rd overall finish. So figuring out where those numbers will be, I mean, that's got to be kind of something to keep an eye on. Are you going to look forward to try to getting a car that might be better suited for you, or just going to be, I'm going to pick whatever and let it happen?
Yeah, I mean, we'll see. I think I'm still probably. I have no clue what the points lead are, but I think it's still a fair bit. Obviously, the double points is going to be a massive factor. But I mean, if I need to, I'll pick a good car. But otherwise, I think I'll just go in and try and secure the championship. Just
have some fun.
Yeah, just get a good enough position.
Well, we'll be definitely figuring that out soon this week, and congratulations on another top 5 for you this season. And believe it or not, for anybody that's still watching, Sean, that was your first time this season not finishing 1st or 2nd.
Yeah. Yeah, I've been.
How dare you finish 3rd, right? Like, how dare you? But no, seriously, congratulations on another great run tonight.
Yeah, thank you.
RZM Sean, ladies and gentlemen, 3rd overall. ESV Barcode, last week's disappointment run for you, and you came back this week. It looked like you did your homework a little bit. And how many cars did you test, and how did you know the KTM was the one for tonight?
I mean, I think I tested, only other car I tested was the Jag. I just saw the KTM's low wear compared to what Bobbers and Breeze was saying and thought I'm going to take a risk and run this, and it worked. It's better than I expected it to, even though it came later than I wanted.
Yeah, you obviously, and I know I've used that word a little bit loosely lately. I'm trying not to use it as much, but you had, the slower jump off the line. Design was able to get by, and then you were kind of stuck behind the guys. It seemed like you were being really patient throughout the race. No, obviously I didn't know the tire wear on the KTM, but you were about 10% better than everybody as the race was getting near the end. And it looked like you were racing really aggressive there, but how patient were you throughout that race? It seemed like you were just kind of chilling there, just letting those two in front of you duke it out.
I was being fairly patient. I ideally almost wanted to get past Sean and just kind of sit in front of him to let Bobbitt's drive off to get design, but I just couldn't. And even if I did get ahead of him, he would have just repassed me anyway, so I was kind of just waiting, I guess, for his tires to die.
And that's what it looked like there at the end, and you were able to get by on the outside, according to him, but we didn't really see it. I did see that you had gotten near him, and then when we went back, it said you're in front, but take us through that moment and that battle.
Yeah, it was around the outside of the second of the sweepers, the downhill left, and then at the inside for the upper right, and I just kept the inside for the next corners, and that secured me the pass pretty much.
And Barcode, I know that we don't really want to look back on it, but what could have been going into the championship, still not out of it, but it's definitely going to be a tough one next week. Gut-wrenching last week at Le Mans, you pretty much had that in the bag. I mean, that was unprecedented.
Yeah, no, it was disappointing, but I mean, I'm not too bothered by it, really. I'm just going to do my best to try and help Bobbers, try and win it. It's unlikely, but, do my best to help him out where I can.
And, next week, Indianapolis, how do you feel going into that track? What's going to be your mindset heading into it?
Just have fun, I guess, and just pick what is going to work best.
Well, congratulations on a top two. I know that and let's talk about that real quick. You were closing the gap on Bobbert, so you needed probably another half a lap to get to him. How hard were you driving trying to get to him at the end? I mean, it was so close.
I wasn't ever going to pass him. I was just going to let him keep that win, honestly, as he's the only one that could have any chance of realistically beating Sean. So I wasn't going to pass him. So, he was safe there.
He almost lost those tires. You might have had to pass him. But nonetheless, that didn't end up having to happen. And a great run by you today, so congratulations on another good finish this season.
Yeah, thank you.
ESV Barcode, ladies and gentlemen, second overall. And first win in a while, Bobberts. And here it comes in the GT Championship Series. We talk about it. You were in the fight for a championship last year against Sean. Sean just had the better season. And then here you were, you were in the loop, you're quiet, still in striking distance, especially after Barcode's disconnect last week. This gotta feel good. It's been quite the ride for you.
Yeah, it's it definitely has been a long time coming. That felt good. To finally not break a duck, but kind of being like the driver who like Kimi Räikkönen in some respects, taking so many races to finally get a win in so many series. So that felt good. But yeah, it was a case of just holding on till when it mattered. And I mean, I was running a different build, slightly different tune as well to what I ran in qualifying. So I wasn't as quick. The car wasn't as good. But at the end of the day, the tire wear is where it mattered, and called it right this time.
Yeah, you talk about that and everything, but that battle with you and Sean, I mean, you knew what you had to do. You knew if he got by you, that challenge probably would have been tough to get back to him, but you're in the fight for a title. How much was that in the back of your mind when he was back there trying to put all the pressure on you? He had a couple of opportunities, but you just had the edge and acceleration. How mentally challenging was that for you until both of you kind of finally settled in and said, you know what, we both need to kind of settle down to get to the end?
Yeah, I mean, it was especially out of the last corner where I was understeering a hell of a lot, again, compared to what I was in qualifying. So I think Breeze had, I think it was 2 or 3 opportunities where he could maybe sneak it down my inside, so I immediately just pulled over to the right, so he had no chance of going down my inside and then just blocked the corner. So, and then I knew at least then I had the acceleration, but even then, though, he could have had a small opportunity getting into the bus stop because he's got the higher top speed compared to what the Jag does. But thankfully, that didn't happen. So it was challenging. I'm just glad I had that acceleration, and obviously paid off in the end. And yeah, I'm just relieved. I'm just
Well,
relieved.
no, I definitely. It's been a tough couple of years for you here at MEA. Wins are tougher now than they were 4 or 5 years ago, and we watched you cover the inside wall. I mean, you took that car as close as you could next to the pit wall, and you made Sean. Like, Sean was literally falling. You guys look like the Indy 500 where the cars come off the corner, they go down, they're trying to break the draft. I mean, you did that for so many laps.
Yeah, like I said, yeah, there was a few occasions where I had to. I just didn't want to give him even half a sniff, just to look down the inside. Even the same going into the hairpin, halfway around the lap, and out of the left-hander, I knew he was always better than me. So again, I just kept the car in the middle of the track because you can't really just dive it down the inside too much there, or else you're just then going to understeer wide yourself. So yeah, I think I've just put the car in the right places where it needed to, and it's obviously just helped.
Now let's talk about the tire wear, design. I mean, the design showed that he was just very good with overall pace, but a lot of people knew that not the Jag. Well, some people said the Jag was going to struggle, but the Lambo was going to have the hardest time. How confident were you that, hey, I'm going to get to him at the end of this thing? I know he's going to fall off. Or did you feel that, all right, I just got to hold Sean off, maintain second? I mean, that had to be pretty nerve-wracking with 2 to go.
I mean, again, obviously, the main thing was to hold Sean off throughout those, first 20 laps near enough in the race until I then, like I said, it managed to pull the gap of whether he was trying to save his tyres and I was still running the same pace as to what I was doing. And it wasn't, I think it was the last 3-4 laps. I know it was initially I was gaining a few tenths on design. I thought maybe this is the crossover points from, again, with what Breeze was telling me with his tyre wear, both of them being in the Lambo. So, and then it was that lap 24, the end of it, I gained, I think, nearly a second in the last split. And I knew then that I had my chance on the next lap. And, yeah, obviously out of the carousel, that's when, obviously, it pounced and it was game over.
Well, we still got to see what the points show heading into the finale, but congratulations, Bobbert, on a great, great race here today. Definitely a challenge of who can manage the best, and it literally could have been anybody's race, but congratulations to get your first win on the season.
Thank you.
ESV Bobberts, ladies and gentlemen. First time this season, gets the win at Watkins Glen. Then Barco's second, third Sean, fourth Design, and then rounding out the top 5 was Scored Buffalo for his first top 5 in MEA. Well, that's a wrap. One race to go. Indianapolis Motor Speedway. It's been one of our favorite championship venues in MEA, bringing it back once again. We've seen some great action there over the years. The Adler Girl win. It's just been one of those things where it's all come down to this, all the preparation, all the time, all the hard racing, and we've honestly seen quite a bit of different winners in the first 5 weeks. So again, I'm SSR Mayhem. Thank you for watching round number 5 of the MEA GT Championship Series. Tune in next week for the championship round as RZM Sean looks to defend his championship against Bobberts, Barcode, Design, and the rest of the field, as this one is still not over yet. Thank you for watching. Have a good night.